Yeah, okay, this is MTaur again. This time I'm going to, play the Embermage a bit. Um, alright. So, this hailstorm, it's a good burst of damage, might as well put points into it, and more importantly, it amplifies ice damage. So it's kind of a no-brainer. And on my right mouse button, I have Arc Beam. Now this skill has changed massively. The cooldown is rather considerable. The mana cost is very high, and the DPS is actually a lot higher than it says that it is. I think the tooltip is misleading because it's like the act display on the tooltip or something like that. You'll see it in action, but it's actually the long cooldown is justified, and sometimes what you want to do is use it in conjunction with your charge bar. So when your spells are free to cast for a limited time, you want to get a good positioning so you can channel your arc beam for as long as it's safe to keep on channeling, and then you can really do a lot of damage all at once. Which is a radical departure from the default arc beam in the vanilla game, which mostly you just spam it for knockback as often as you feel like. So as you can see, I did pretty good damage there. Yeah. The other thing is I'm about to use one of my little philosopher potions. This is the one special. It's called the Courier's Bottle. It, in addition to being like the philosopher's items that I discussed in the previous video, this one is special. The Courier's Bottle grants a movement speed bonus. So, for every, well, up to a certain point, you'll get all the way through normal new game with 0 pluses before you run out of fancy ones. So, basically all the way through level 50, there's a philosopher version, and then there's like a special one with an additional bonus that costs like 4 times as much money to buy. And if you can afford to buy the fancy one, then you'll be in pretty good shape for a while to come. And even if you can't afford to buy them, they are set to be like pretty uncommon drops. You know, you might find 1 or 2 every half hour if you're lucky, and you might not find any. And you might find one that's obsolete, and you might, so you have to decide whether the bonus is worth it to use an obsolete item and or save a bit of money. Okay, I also have Frost Phase. It has a significant cooldown, because I don't want you to be able to spam teleports. Once every 7 seconds is enough, and as you can see, I increase the damage significantly, so you can actually use it as part of your combo, or you can just use it to GTFO. It's really good with Arc Beam, because sometimes you'll Arc Beam, and then you'll take a lot of damage from your enemies, and then maybe you're like, okay, my health is really low, I'll just flash out at the last second. Of course, you have to be careful about your mana if you're going to play it like that, but, you know, that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah, I like my mods. I think they improve on the basic gameplay of the game. There's a lot of ways in which Torchlight 2 improved, or both Torchlight 1 and the Diablo 2 game. There are a lot of ways in which it's the game that Diablo 3 should have been, even though there kind of isn't any game out there that I really appreciate how they made they part of the balance things that were actually fixed by Runic Games is just the overall scaling of the skills is a lot better. Everything they cap how many skill points you can put into different skills at too early of a level, so you're not tempted to just put all of your points into one bucket and call it a day. They encourage variety a bit more. And the skills you have at the beginning of the game, pretty often they're like viable throughout the entire game because of this. You just, if you consistently invest points in your early game skills, they're still useful DPS skills or whatever, or what have you. Also, they also tend to scale off either your weapon DPS or just your player level, in addition to scaling off of skill points. So you have a lot of choices that are actually pretty viable and encourage different choices in how you play. There still are some noob traps, but the sense that your life begins at max level is not quite as strongly ingrained, so that's cool. Also, a lot of the skills in the game I didn't really touch. The DPS skills, maybe I curbed the mana costs in some cases. But, for example, this skill, the Thunder Locust, it was in a pretty good place already. Anytime you summon a new one, it replaces the old one, so there's a sense in which it's already properly gated in the amount of DPS that it can do. It does nice chunks of damage. It was already in a good place, so I didn't have to do anything about it. It's sort of a skill that already sort of conforms to my kind of vision of a properly balanced game where skills are differentiated into different use cases. So, yeah, this is a very powerful skill. Always has been. It can be a real lifesaver, especially when you amplify it with Hailstorm. You throw it down and you GTFO because, shit just got real. And, it can make your life a lot easier, especially if you don't get surrounded or anything like that. It can be very difficult trying to stay alive in cramped quarters. And there are some challenge levels in the game where you are forced to fight in cramped quarters, and that just increases the suspense and the tension, I guess. So it's all good. Yep. So yeah, this arc beam is definitely not the arc beam that you got in the vanilla game. It's just a lot more powerful. It's a little bit awkward to aim because you actually target an enemy at the moment that you cast it. It's locked onto that enemy, and you can't control the direction, which is kind of obnoxious because it has a long cooldown. You can channel it as continuously for as long as you want, as long as you have mana, but as soon as you stop channeling, the cooldown begins. So what you want to do if you ever play this mod is you want to cast it just nowhere, not any particular enemy, and then you can sweep it freely. I didn't reprogram it to be like that, it was just like that already. And it probably wasn't an issue for players in the past because there was no cooldown, and you could just cast it again if you didn't like the way that it was facing. But that's no longer an option, so you just have to... the presence of a cooldown will force you to adapt to the quirks of the programming in ways that it doesn't appear that they anticipated. So it's not exactly a bug, but it is kind of an inconvenient programming quirk that you have to play around. But yeah, that's what you have to do. Also, this I haven't been using this much. It's not my favorite skill. I have 1 point in it for the lulls, but even Death's Bounty actually does a bit of damage. I mean, might as well, right? It used to do very little damage. Now it does, like, not as much as an actual primary attack, but it's at least noticeable. I don't know, little weak enemies like that. Burst them so fast that it should pay for itself, I think. I don't know. And also spell scrolls. I didn't mention this before, but those have also been nerfed considerably. They are sort of brought in line with everything else in the other patches, along with the rest of the cooldown mod. So there's no loophole there. This scroll is a bit outdated. I should be using 3 or 4 by now, so it doesn't heal as much as I would like, but I haven't found another one, and I don't think I want to spend money on it. Okay. Okay, so actually I'm using a couple of other mods. One is some of the loot drops are more interesting, like some of the random destructible objects drop cool things. I forget what that mod was called, but that was not my creation. I don't know. If you go on Steam, it's one of the more popular ones. Quest star. Yes, give me your stuff. I don't even remember what I'm doing, why I'm blowing these up, but apparently it's a thing that I'm supposed to do. I don't ask too many questions. The plot's not very interesting, so I just don't ask questions. I just pick fights and destroy things.
My mana is low.
Yeah, so that right there, Squire's Water Skin, that's an outdated philosopher item with bonus experience, so... yeah, good times. Brood Hive, is that even a side quest, or is that just a dungeon that's, like, way below my level? I think there's a star on the map. There, underneath the... Yep, Shadow of the Scara. Okay. Clear this out and then call it a video. I've sort of said my piece for the most part. Playing kind of sloppy, taking some damage. Oh, my healing potion ran out. Had to start a new one.
I don't have enough mana.
Yeah, I'm just over-leveled. I don't know how it happened. Maybe I should just start skipping side quests from time to time. I don't know.
Don't have enough mana.
Yeah, let's get out of there. disturbing. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get out of that. No, that's... I don't like this thing. It looks dangerous. Yeah, and I just got snared. And then when you try to teleport when you're snared, you don't... It doesn't do anything. Just wastes the cooldown and you look stupid. I think if you're not looking at it, it can't do that because it's like... Could be wrong. I don't think I was looking at it that time. Okay.
Insufficient mana. My mana is low.
Okay, almost. I guess that'll do it.
I don't have enough mana.
Oh, taking damage. Oh, I think this thing's mad at me for killing all the eggs. It's like the angry bird. Except, I don't know what it is. It's not, doesn't really look like a bird. It's, golem. But, anyway. This might be that corrupting influence that my quest log referred to. It's definitely angry though.
Insufficient mana.
Yeah, I'm a wizard. I can kite this thing forever, but it's gonna take a long time. Like, I would like to shoot it with my laser, but then it just throws rocks in my face, and that kind of hurts. So I don't know what to do. See how much health that has? It's just... Yeah, kiting can kind of suck sometimes, but sometimes you just have to do it because they're too squishy. I think I spent all my points on mana instead of vitality, and because I sort of needed it, but now it's just kind of sucks. Laser. Oh yeah, that health bar sort of moved a little bit. That was exciting. What, did I kill it? What did I kill it? No, I just gained a level killing something totally different. It's just coincidence. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was that low. Yeah, let's get out of there. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you've played this before without mods, then you might remember something a little bit different. Maybe you could spam your skills a lot more rapidly, and they cost less mana, and they didn't do as much damage, and you just like spam, spam, spam. And you probably use like 100 little potions instead of a couple of big ones. But, you know, that's how that works. So let's see what kind of quest rewards I get. Probably something stupid. Usually it's something dumb. I'll have to go all the way back to town for that. Not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna bother. Not right now. So yeah. So that's Embermage for you.